everyone, today we're going to build a Z2 with a couple of new Team Blacksheep products. One is the battery bay for the Z2 that we developed, and another one is the version 2 of the GoPro mount that is going to come out with the layer lens from Tim at FPV Manuals. Okay, so the next step, you were going to run a cable from the front here to the back, and what we do for that is we just heat up a soldering gun which has a wire running alongside it, and once you apply some heat to the foam it will just melt away. And what we're doing is we're cutting a channel right along the battery base here. This channel will be used to hold this camera cable inside, just so that it doesn't interfere with the battery bay. And both on the front and on the back you need to run the cable inside the foam. So what you do for that is you take a lighter and you heat up a metal rod. And once it's hot, you just push it through. You may have to do this from both sides. And on the front, you don't really need to be too careful because we're going to cut all that front part away anyway. Just push it inside and hope for the best. There we go. So now you can install the camera cable already. Run it all the way from the back. Right to the front of the plane without it extending at all into the battery bay, and you're going to see why this is important in a second. So next step, we cut the opening for the GoPro mount, and well, let's just draw it in first and then I'll talk about it a little bit more in detail. Okay, so we start with preparing the GoPro mount, because this one here is made for all kinds of wings, and for the Zephyr 2 specifically you need to shorten it just a little bit. What you want to do is you're going to take the wooden GoPro mount and put it right along this ledge here, and then you draw a line where the battery bay starts about. It's not really too critical, and you better go a little bit shorter than longer. And then you just take some pliers and just crunch it off. And this is wood, so you can, it's not really critical. And there we go. And next up we will draw in the battery mount, or the cuts that we need to do. So for the cutouts, you just take a pen, draw the lines, and that's basically it. Okay, so to cut out the front of the GoPro cutouts, you just take again the soldering gun that we used before, and just have a metal ruler here to keep it from moving too far back. Try to keep it a little straight, or as straight as possible, and just run in. What you need to try here is to keep the speed even so that the cuts will be really nice and straight. And here we go. We will need a second cut. And you go all the way through here, right to the bottom. And there we go. Since we didn't make it in one cut, it's gonna be a little uneven, but you know, you can just help that out a little bit later with a knife. And what you need to do as well is you need to draw in the areas where these wooden ears go inside. So that would be here, and here, and here. And you just take again the soldering gun and just push it in. And that will make it fit really nice. Okay, it's not really straight right now, so what we need to do is we need to improve the cutting at the bottom. But in general, that was a really quick and easy way to cut the GoPro mount in. Alright, let's try one more test fit. Much better now. Okay, so the reason why we do this early on is so we know the right length for this cable. And as I see here, we are going to need to redo the hole. And what we do here is there is this little cutout here, which is a receptacle for this cable. And you will need to again paint about where this hole is going to open, and then we take our steel rod and a lighter. And if you find that this channel here interferes with this ear, what you do is you just cut off the part where it would actually interfere, which is not the case right here. So that's about the right length. And now we're going to try to get this cable through. There we go. Just do it to check the length again. And then you just secure the cable with one drop of CA. Here and one here. That should do it. We're basically done with the rest of the system, so now we are going to glue together this GoPro mount. And this one here is actually the GoPro mount version 2. It has increased bumpers on the front to protect your FPV camera, and it's also layer lens compatible. So what this means is you can actually take off this part here, just the front of the GoPro, and you can attach a custom-made layer lens that we developed together with Tim at FPV Manuals in order to secure your GoPro camera and also to protect the lens. I'm going to show that in a different video. In here, right now, we're just going to use the standard GoPro mount. You know, like before, just add some CA glue in specific areas. And it's going to distribute itself. And the final retail versions will again have these little holes where the glue will find its way into. All right. So, once this is done, we take Z2 and here we go. This is actually secure pretty well already. We can decide to move it up or down a little bit. In this case, I think it would be smart to push it down just a tad more. Alright, and now what we do is we mix up some 5-minute epoxy, and yeah, we're getting ready to glue it in. Okay, so the GoPro mount is pretty much set inside. We use tape at the bottom of the wing. We use tape at the bottom of the wing just to hold it in place. And we also already put some 5-minute epoxy all around the mount. And now what we're doing is mixing up some more epoxy. And we'll just spread it along the edges here and let it run inside. Okay, and now this is going to hold really well. And this means the GoPro mount is now cleanly attached and we're ready for pretty much covering the plane.